Happy Tuesday. Let's hope that this one actually records and I'm not going to be interrupted by anybody else walking in my room, a cat needing letting in from the absolutely appalling weather that we're having where I live in the UK today. Tuesday videos are usually about the astrological look ahead. And as I was sitting down just to think about this a little bit, so I'm recording this a little bit later than I normally would do because I had a piece of work that I really wanted to complete this morning. And the plan was complete the work, eat my lunch, go and sit outside and record this. Yeah, so anyway, that's totally been ruined because it is absolutely siling it down out there. Going back to where I was, normally I talk about the astrology, and sometimes, every now and again, there is a little nudge, a little message from spirit that actually things need to change and that what I am to talk about isn't necessarily what I have prepared, isn't necessarily what I am comfortable talking about, and isn't necessarily going to flow as much because I am listening in one ear to what they're saying to me and I am trying to bring that through and interpret it. So it's a little bit like a form of channeling, but I always seem to feel it's a little bit more like dictation in my ear. So bear with me a little bit if I am taking a moment just to kind of listen and really tune in. When I was starting this message, when I was the voice in my ear starts going, they really want to talk about the stars. They really want to talk about how we use astrology and how we use astrology as a way marker. And I've said this so many times, they're way markers on our journey. If we are artists, how we fill in the gaps between the lines and the shapes is totally down to us. And when we start to look at the stars, when we start to look at that blank canvas, it is for us to fill in, to complete, but we also must make sure that we're never over reliant on astrology. We're not blaming astrology for what is going on. And this will become really, really interesting as we move further into Pluto, into Aquarius, but also through the age of Aquarius as well. So Aquarius rules technology, and she's also the sign of the cosmic weaver, star mother. So we're going to see a rise of technology but also a rise of astrology. And the question we're always going to ask ourselves is, are we going to see astrology via TikTok, via really small bite-sized videos that really pump and fluff the algorithm, or are we going to see it going back to a transformative art where we take the time to understand the deep transformation, where we take the time to really alchemize all the magic that comes through from the stars? When I was kind of tuning into this energy and talking about the stars, it's also for us remembering that while we're going through this massive ascension process, and it is huge, I don't think any of us can quantify it in human words. It's deeply expansive. We are being battered left, right and centre by a huge amount of energies. I often talk about heart codes coming in to open up our heart chakra, our higher heart chakra, but to also open us up to better and greater ways of leading from our heart and unblocking a lot of the trauma that's coming through. So I felt those coming through. We've also got the new moons, the full moons, the solstices, the portal gateways like the 6-6 that we're going to go through, 7-7, Lionsgate to go through. They're providing us with a huge battering of energy. And when I kind of like look at the earth at the moment, it's a little bit like we're in a food processor. You know, we're making a cake and they're just kind of adding in different colours, and all these colours are beginning to really churn up into this massive rainbow-esque cake, and there's just so much going on at the moment, and we're all weathering it differently. We are all weathering it to the best of our ability, but also to the best of where our souls are at the moment, where our soul contracts are, but also how we are supporting other people. So We go through this massive planetary expansion, battered on all sides by the energy for the collective, but then individually we're having our own individual light codes, individual heart codes, individual upgrades, light language, light codes, you name it, whatever you want to call it, as the upgrade coming through for us all. And where we are energetically, physically, mentally and emotionally will be very, very different. So if we think about the spectrum of how we are currently coping, we have coping really, really well, really happy, really in alignment, not feeling concerned about anything, just getting in the flow. If you're one of those people, just stop listening now, because you're amazing, and please tell us the secret to that. Then we have the, I'm sort of aware that I'm having an upgrade, I'm feeling a little bit battered left, right and centre, but I've got all the things that I need to integrate it. So George has just joined us again. Obviously big things to say when he joins us. Just take his collar off. And then we've got the sort of, everything's going on and I feel a little bit pushed, I feel a little bit pulled, I feel a little bit stretched, but it's okay, I'm coping. Then we've got the, I feel battered, I feel stretched, I feel like everything is battering me from every single side. And you know what? I'm really struggling to cope. And then we have the other, kind of the real end of the spectrum of, I really can't cope, this is all too much, and actually I need to take a little bit of time out and really integrate these energies for myself. So it's a little bit more like a bit of an existential crisis, dark night of the soul kind of upgrade, and we're all shifting between this spectrum all the time. We'll have weeks where we feel amazing, weeks where we don't feel amazing, hours that feel fantastic, and then the next hour of, I'm really not sure what's going on. It's really normal, it's really natural. The more I tune into the energetic cycles, I'm really seeing that we're oscillating as we integrate these new frequencies. So wherever you are on the spectrum, I'm sending you a huge amount of love, and if you want to reach out and kind of talk about that, that's what I'm here for. As well as my astrology work, I also do a lot of soul coaching as well, really encouraging us to step into our new earth leadership. So that's where we are at the moment, oscillating and moving around. And from experience, my personal experience of the last round of upgrades was very, very introspective, very much going within, being pushed off where I thought my current trajectory was, and literally kicked into a different timeline. It's just something I really wasn't expecting. I knew there was going to be a little bit of change. I thought it was change for the better. This is change for the better, but it's unexpected change, and some people just say, it's fine, think positively, it's all going to be all right. But actually sometimes you just need to integrate it, and those integrations aren't overnight. Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes months, sometimes, and I've known some changes for me take 6 months to really anchor in. And it's no reflection on how spiritual you are, it's no reflection on how much of a walking ascended master you are. It's just the way that you're going to deal with it sometimes. So sometimes we'll have really quick frequency upgrades, integrations, we feel great. Other times it'll take us a long time, and particularly if we have something that goes on that's just really emotional for us, that our upgrade, our kicking into a different timeline happens through others' words, or it happens through actions that really hurt us on a physical, emotional level, but ultimately for our highest good, they can take a long time to really integrate and move through. So be kind to yourself is what I really want to say. And I have stood there recently, do a lot of my internal work in Scorpio season, because that's where I feel most comfortable. I've got a stellium of planets in Scorpio. I really like the dark nights closing in, the kind of cooler weather, to be able to sit with my journal, sit with my cacao, read brilliant books, kind of self-development books. A book I'd really recommend is Existential Kink by Caroline Elliott. Fabulous book, very scorpionic. And then I found that this time my introspective time was actually going to be during Taurus season. So that's the flip opposite, the sister sign of Scorpio. So wherever you are, be kind, be gentle to yourself, and know whatever is happening for you is for your highest good. And that's not spiritual bypassing, because you're going to still have to sit with shit. You're still going to have to sit in that discomfort, but having that in mind, that things although painful, sometimes bring us the greatest reward. That our obstacle in front of us is actually the path ahead and will bring us the deepest gifts, can just help us get through those particularly dark times. And we're really boosted actually with the astrology at the moment, with Jupiter moving into Gemini. So Sol went through the Pleiades portal, and then Gemini went through the Pleiades portal as she moved into Gemini as well. And that for me is a really potent and powerful time to share your truth, speak your truth, think about the words that you're going to speak, write your books, start that podcast, revamp your website, to really commit to something that is going to have your voice heard by so many people. So there we are. This is Tuesday's ramble of saying, you might feel like you've been battered from all sides. Things might be happening for you, but it's not a race, okay? We're not in some massive marathon de sable where we're going to have to all get to the end and where we're digging in deep. It is a life's work. It is a life's journey. So it's okay to have weeks, months, 6 months, maybe a year of integrating, of doing the deep transformative work. There is no rush to do deep transformative work, and there is no pressure on you to get that sorted really quickly. So just be kind to yourself, let everything integrate, let everything settle for you, and know that you are absolutely and utterly amazing, and you're here to do your job, and you're here to learn your human lessons, you're here to learn your spiritual lessons, as well as raising the frequency of the planet as well. So we're here, we have a dual purpose, soul ascension and planetary ascension as well. So really let that role sink in for you, and when you look up tonight, if you can see the stars just drawing down that energy, drawing it into you, that wisdom, all the messages that we've left in the stars in previous lifetimes to really help us enact and bring about change in this lifetime, are all there for us to hear. And as I know I move through this discomfort into realignment, it is really about sharing more from our star families. It's really about sharing more of the galaxy and how we are affected by not just the movement of the planets, the movement of the asteroids, the movements of the Kuiper Belt objects, which are dwarf planets, but also the music of the spheres as well, the energy that they bring down, and connecting to our galactic star families who are really deeply supporting us at the moment. When I tune into the collective council of light, and there's so much more to share with you about this, but I'm going on far too long, they often show me, galactic families looking down on Earth, almost watching through a television screen, of urging us onwards, of cheering us on every time we make a breakthrough, every time something happens for us. They're sad when we're sad, but they're always sending us so much love, and they are really spicing up their operations, I would say, on the galactic level as well at the moment. They are really coming in strong. So if you're finding that urge to connect more to your star families, then really go for it. Just ask to connect in your highest good. So that's my Tuesday ramble. I am sending you so much love. I will be back on Thursday at some point to share whatever is going to come through. So it will be weaving ascension energies with the astrology, with messages that come through from Goddess, from the galactics. And I think it's really time that we open our mind and really step into our heart-led leadership to enact change as well. So I will share so much more with you on Thursday. I'll tell you a little bit more about my book, I think, on Thursday. So that's out on the 21st of June. It's the Starfire Leaders of the Age of Aquarius. It's all about new Earth leadership and how we are going to step into these brand new shiny roles, which will feel incredibly uncomfortable for a while, but it's time to be the trailblazer and make a difference. So sending you so much love. Love to hear your comments. If you do want a birth chart reading, I've got a couple of spaces left in June. So drop me a message, drop a comment underneath, and I will send you the link to book. So sending you so much love. Take care.